Hey everybody, welcome to BrickVault. My name is Mike and it's time for the top 10 MOCs of the week video. My favorite MOCs that I found during this week. This one's gonna be Star Wars heavy, so bear with me on that. And also I'm gonna be, as usual, showcasing your creations that you have sent to our fan MOC email. So without too much more talking, let's get into the first MOC.
And as always guys, all the cool creations and the links to them can be found in the video description below. And also if you wanna submit your MOCs, here is the email for that and the rules can also be found in the description. Starting off with number 10, we have a beautiful build for LEGO flowers by AC Pin. You do see flowers in LEGO form quite often, but this time around we have a full bed of them, somewhat a display piece with a number of different species of flowers. There is some great building right there, especially those petals using those curved pieces, and there is even this minifig afro head in the use for one of the types of flowers. As many of the pictures from the designer's Flickr page show, you can use them in a number of ways in your home, and the easy part here is that you don't have to water them, you don't have to make them grow, probably just a simple dusting will do. That seems to be such an easy concept that I kind of want to recreate those flowers and have them in the studio, and I think that would also be a pretty easy task for you guys to do as well. There is a very neat creation from AC Pin. And moving up to number 9, we are into the buildings section. This is the Margaret Hunt Hill Bridge by Leah Chan. The real landmark is a bridge that spans over Trinity River just west of downtown Dallas. It is a cable bridge that is 1870 feet in length and 1197 feet in main span, with a steel arc of a height of 400 feet. That is one beautiful bridge and the recreation in LEGO form is as beautiful at least. I love the way the pictures were taken, comparing both structures in LEGO form and in real form, and there is really some impressive use of pieces to recreate the entire shape. There is one massive structure and I'm really wondering how Leah managed to take it outside to take all those pictures. I really love these architecture level builds for various structures, and this one was definitely worth going into the list. Number 8 is another landmark, that is the Shanghai Tower by Lisqr. And this one is in microscale build. Ever since I did the video on Charlie's design for a microscale city, I was enjoying different creations in this scale, and this one is one of the best I have seen. The Shanghai Tower has somewhat of a special shape to a building, and Lisqr, the designer, recreated this one in a huge detail. The build uses, I think, a series of modules that are offset slightly to recreate this crazy shape, and the use of tiles and curves here and there makes up for entirely good look. This minimalistic design does not disappoint. The whole composition of the build is actually really good, and I really wouldn't mind having such great microscale build to our microscale LEGO city. And number 7 is a Mech build. I couldn't leave an MOCs video without a Mech in it, and this one comes from a very well-known builder to us, Lego 7. It is the Black Samurai Mech, and this is just one of those examples when the use of pieces is simply magnificent, and the color combination for this one also works wonders. It is interesting that this build, despite of the looks, does not use bionicle pieces, which is very often a case for such looking mechs. But apparently we do have most of classic Lego here with some use of Technic. It does come with a stand, but the structure has some possibility, and the coolest thing about it that it actually hosts a Ninjago minifigure pilot. The cockpit opening function is really cool. Once it's closed, you cannot really tell if there is a minifig inside. I actually would love to have this guy as a Ninjago set. That is a really awesome build, but we are not actually really done with Lego 7 because his next build has also made the list. And speaking of that, number 6 is Joker's Lowrider in rally version, also by Lego 7. I just couldn't help it and added this build because I think it deserves it. There is such a different build from Samurai Mech. I mean, the diversity is really with the designer, and as much as I loved the official Lego Joker Lowrider set, this one is just an ultimately better version. The awesome design of the suspension with those massive wheels and some equipment in the back, along with the lights at the top and some cool addition in the front bumper, just makes me want this thing more than the official set. I'm just wondering if Lego ever saw this set before they designed the Lowrider, maybe they could have gone with this version instead. I have to say that would be much more appealing to me. And moving up to number 5, we are still in the vehicles department. Those are Shelby Cobras by Dan Bowles. Carroll Shelby was definitely one of the greatest car designers of all time, and his Shelby Mustangs are still on top of my dreams list. And the designer Dan is giving a great tribute with this small build for both of these cars. That is definitely a simple scale to go with, but Dan used a lot of good pieces here and there that makes up for a great look even though they are very small. The photography is also top notch, and now given the fact that those are just a few pieces each car, I really want to add them to our LEGO city. Those small two guys are also an ideas project as of now, so be sure to support it if you like it. Alright, and with this episode, as we are moving higher up, I warned you, we are getting into the Star Wars territory territory. Number 4 is a great build for the UT-60D U-Wing, my favorite ship from Rogue One, by Inhert. Well, I should say no one else but Inhert, because this guy has provided the world with some awesome LEGO Star Wars builds. Most likely he is best known for his X-Wing designs. But his newest addition, the UT-60D U-Wing, is nothing short of a masterpiece. That seems like a great minifig scale build, so you do have space for 2 pilots sitting next to each other as in the actual movie, and there is also the full compartment for the soldiers to deploy from. The engines also look great, all the shaping in the back is also very well done. The wings do fold as they supposed to, and overall the shape looks somewhat different than the official set. I think it is the closer to the actual look of the ship from the movie. This is definitely one of the best depictions of the U-Wing in this scale I have seen so far. Alright, and as we move into the top 3, number 3 is X-Wing Evolved by Sydag. And by evolved, I mean that is his own representation of this famous fighter, and maybe even looks like some future version that would come after the design from The Force Awakens. And the main part of this build is this integration, the seamless integration of the canopy piece in the very middle, that makes up for a great look for the cockpit. I think there's a great idea right there, and generally this whole section with the pointy nose are really adding the aggressive shape to the entire ship. I really like the simplicity of this one, and even it comes with a display stand, and I'm pretty sure it kind of looks simple but is somewhat complicated on the inside. A very decent build and a very welcomed, refreshing somewhat look on this iconic ship. I really hope that we'll be able to at least at some point get the instructions from the designer. And as we are almost done with the list, number 2 is another Star Wars build that is the custom, guess what, Millennium Falcon by Khaled Yousef. I know that is a not very original choice of a ship. I mean, everyone is building Falcons these days, but this one just happened to pop out this week, and it is one of the best I have seen. And with this representation of the Falcon by Khaled, we are getting not only great exteriors, but a very detailed interior, which is not the case in all of the builds I've seen. It opens up similarly to the official latest set, using this kind of panels that just tilt up, and everything inside is where it's supposed to be, and I'm pretty sure you can easily recognize all the corridors, equipment, rooms from the Falcon that we have seen in a number of movies. I am not sure if this is perfect minifigure scale, but I think it is pretty close. While the cockpit has definitely 2 seats, that means you can fit in Han Solo and Chewbacca in there. That is one detailed build, it doesn't seem as complicated as the others I've seen, so that is a massive plus. And Khaled is a very veteran Star Wars designer, so if we can ever see instructions for this build from him, at least before the Ultimate Collector Series Falcon comes this year hopefully, I would really be thrilled to build this thing. Alright guys, and I'm sorry about all these Star Wars builds, I just couldn't help it, those are really great ones this week. But number 1 is something entirely different, and that is the Cyber Centipede by IGU. I chose this build because it looks just out of this world. You can't really tell if it's LEGO or not by the first look, just because the mix of pieces from Bionicle and Technic and some classic LEGO is just astonishing. The whole thing has a very alien look to it, looks really crazy. I am pretty sure there is even a working legs mechanism incorporated, but we don't have any video to prove it, so I'm just assuming from this complexity of the mechanism we see on the side of the build. The whole tail section is also very well designed. The antennas at the top ending with those green transparent pieces are a really nice touch as well, and overall I'm just really approving this build because of the complexity of it, and I'm pretty sure that there was a lot of effort that went into it. Such builds really deserve a shout out, so I was really happy to put this one in number 1 for this week's list. That is such an awesome creation, and definitely not the first one in this designer's portfolio, so if you have the chance, check out his Flickr page, I have left a link in the video description below. Alright, and that is it for this week's top 10 MOCs video. Here are the 10 MOCs I have chosen, and now it is time to show off your creations that you have sent into our BrickVault Fan MOCs email. Keep submitting them, the email and the rules can be found in the description as well. I really enjoy opening those emails, and some of these are really amazing. So keep doing that guys, keep submitting your MOCs. Thank you so much for watching, and leave a like and subscribe if you like this video. Here are your MOCs, and let's cue the music.